Hi, welcome to Anna's Kitchen. My name is Anna and this is my kitchen. Today we're going to do a banana wine on epic proportion. I've been told the banana wine is very tasty, so I decided to give this a go. If you know me, I do not do anything by half measures, so I'm going to attempt to make a 15 litres of banana wine. All you require is 7.5 kilograms of dodgy looking bananas. They need to be really ripe for the best results. 4 kilograms of sugar. I've got 2 kilograms of white sugar and 2 kilograms of demerara sugar. You can mix them, or you can use a pure white sugar, or you can use a brown sugar, whatever you prefer. But apparently demerara or a brown sugar gives the wine a better colour. I have 4 tea bags. I have no idea why, but apparently you have to have tea bags in there. I've got a bag of sultanas, of which will require 400 grams. And I have 2 lemons for the sake of the juice. And we've got the 1 yeast compound, which we'll need to add on to the wine. As in terms of equipment, the main thing you'll need is a big broom thing, or broom bucket, or the demijohns, and I've got the big pot in which we're going to boil the bananas. Because of the sheer size of that, I couldn't possibly fit in the whole 15 litres in here, so I got to split my recipe into half, and hopefully I managed to do 2 rounds of that. But we'll get back to this later. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to peel my bananas. You don't have to. I know you can make a banana wine with the skin, but I'm a bit sort of skeptical because I know they have a lot of pectin in there. I think in the skin there's a lot of sugars, but by choice I'll choose to remove the skin and go over the naked bananas. So let's get to it. Okay, let's get peeling. I've halved my recipe, as I said, because I'm going to do 2 batches. So I've got 3.7 kilos of bananas here. Okay, so bananas are done. So we're going to now chop them up roughly and put them into my saucepan. As I said, I've halved the bananas, so I've got about 3.7 kilos of bananas in here. So I'm going to chop them up. So bananas are now roughly chopped and in a pot. So I'm going to now pour the 7.5 litres of water in the pot and hope it's all going to fit in really nicely, because yeah, I don't have, this is like I think a 10 litre pot, so hopefully it's all going to work out okay. I am doing this on a bigger scale than probably what an average person would do, but I'm up for the challenge, so let's see how it goes. Okay, so let's pour the water in. I've got a big 4 litre thing there. Make sure it's not going to go everywhere. It's going to go everywhere. Oops, daisy. That's very close. It's very close. It's not going to go in. It's not going to go in. Alright. That's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's going to make for stronger wine. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that, that's amazing. You couldn't ask for better results if you tried, could you? So here we are. So, it's very close. I have to be really careful and watch this because they will overboil. I know, actually it won't overboil. Apparently on the, what do you call them? Induction ones, apparently stuff doesn't overboil because I can really control the temperature. So I've been told. So here we are. So I'm going to bring this to the boil and then we're going to let it simmer. As soon as it gets warm, I will add on 200 grams of sultanas or raisins into that. I already pre-measured it out, obviously, the half of my recipe, and a lemon will go in shortly as well. So let's wait a little and see. Okay, so the water is in, bananas are nicely floating. So we're going to bring this to the boil. As soon as it's boiled, I'm going to add on 200 grams of sultanas or raisins, already half my recipe, ready to go. I'm going to put a whole lemon inside, well, the juice, sorry. Actually, I might be able to put the whole lemon, you never know, it might work. And I'm going to shove 2 very special tea bags inside. You can prepare a tea and pour this in, but I don't think I want any more liquid, so we want to try to make it as banana as we can. So just going to chug those guys in when the water warms up a bit, and we'll take it from there. Okay, it's been boiling for a little bit, and we have a lot of this candy stuff that we need to take off. It looks like sewage. It's not particularly nice. The banana thing smells lovely, but the sewage does not look very much appealing. So I'm just going to get this off. And I do suggest when you do this, do have a bigger pot because it is very close. It's not overboiled, but it is very close. So I'm going to get all the skanky stuff off as much as I can. But all the banana is becoming like a puree now. And it's going to start changing colour. Well, it's a rich slurry, I think, on the top. It's just oxidizing, so I'm going to add on some lemon juice. I'm going to go with the juice, just in case the lemon wine is going to make it a bit sour or something, I don't know. I'm going to squeeze that guy in there. Yeah. Turn it down a bit. Okay, that's a nice juicy lemon, this is. In there. How about this little tip, doing the lemon with a spoon? Who needs the juicer? Does a far better job. Literally, I've tried a few. Can't beat the spoon. Okay, that's in. I'm going to wash 2 of the tea bags in there. Put the spoon back in. Good luck fishing that after. And I'm putting my 200 grams of raisins in. And my pot is very, very full. I will do a second batch, obviously, behind the camera, but we will come back to you when we're going to combine this all together. What I'm going to do with the sugar, because I don't have the space to do that here, but that's okay. I'm going to do 2 batches of bananas, put them into my fermenting pot, and then I'm going to boil whatever water I'm short of to make up my 15 litres and dissolve all the sugar in there, cool it down, and then add it together in a big pot. This way I don't have a problem of trying to mix stuff in a tiny pot and sort of fiddle with bits. So that's the next plan. I'm going to get to the second batch now, and we'll see you shortly. Alright, so I've emptied my first pot, the first batch we filmed, into the fermenter because I need that big pot. So now I have the remaining 2 litres that I was short of to make up my 15 litres. So they're already here, the water is there. I'm going to add on the 4 kilos of sugar into that all at once. And hopefully there's going to be enough water to dilute that. Should be. You wouldn't probably have this problem if you've got a smaller batch of wine or a bigger pot. Oh god, that smells amazing. I can see why you would like to use a brown sugar or demerara sugar. It just got this sort of caramelly smell to it. So hopefully it's all going to reflect in the wine, and of course the colour. And I think that's probably why you want to add on tea bag. I assume just the colour only. Because nobody wants to drink tea, do they? Let's be fair. Not in my wine anyway. Anyway, so they never open properly, do they? Car. There we are, out. And I've got the big one. And by the way, they create hell of a lot of mess on your hob. Like the whole wine making, and it's a mess. Way! You want to have a look at that? That's funny. It's not funny, but it's weird. All the sugar poured in there. It looked like a little mountain just disappeared on the inside. Look at that. Way. You might think it looks like a lot of sugar, but for 15 litres, well, my god, that's heavy to mix. For 15 litres of wine, I think that's probably quite alright. Don't forget the whole idea of the yeast going to eat the sugar to make it into alcohol. So technically more alcohol, well, more sugar means more alcohol, I assume. So I have some of that. So as to per calculations, we're not using any of the gravity things or whatever, but technically that should give us a standard standard strength wine between 12 and 15% as to per this recipe. So we're gonna figure this out. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this now to sit on the hob for a little bit and dilute so it all becomes, oh my god, the smell, sorry, it smells like caramel. This is crazy. But yeah, sorry, we're gonna wait until it's all diluted and I'm gonna let it cool after it's diluted. So we're gonna combine this all together with all the banana skanky stuff and this, and we'll come back to this when it's all cooled down and ready. Okay, here we are. I've put the first big pot of the banana goo into the fermenter because I needed this to make the sugar water to go into the mixture. So here we are, we have my batches of wine goo that looks like a dishwasher waste. Could you see that point? It's a bit yucky. Can you see? Yeah. It's literally, it's brown, it's gooey, it's disgusting. I cannot possibly imagine that this will become a nice clear glass of wine in about 30 days, but hey, let's put this in. It's a messy job because it's so much of it, but somebody's got to do it. I think you might need the goggles for that. Oh, gross. Cool down a little bit so it's not a problem. And it's still warm enough for the yeast to then do the work. It's so disgusting. Okay, got raisins all plumped up, look. You can strain this before doing this into the fermenter, depending how much space you've got into, but this is a 25 litre, so I've got plenty of room for the bananas to flow there and sort of do their job for extra whatever days they need to. But again, you don't have to. You can strain the water, so strain the goo and have the water sitting there for a bit longer. And now it's time for the brown water to meet dishwater. This is my sugars. I dissolved my 4 kilos in 2 litres because I was short on the water content for the wine to make my 15 litres. So this will complete the picture. So it's all dissolved, it's cooled down a little bit, so I'm going to pour this in. It weighs a lot. Okay, off it goes. Brown water, introducing the dishwater, hey! Okay, that didn't sputter that much. I can join the family of pots. Wooden spoon. It smells nice. It smells like banana and custard, just without the custard. Basically like a banana, a warm banana. So give it a good stir. Whether you want to have a look. I still left the raisins, I left everything apart from the tea bags in there. It's easier for me to do this and then strain this twice after the first fermentation. So if you maybe come close and have a look, if you could. Yeah. So now I'm going to sprinkle, for this recipe, this quantity, 4 teaspoons of the wine yeast compound. You can dilute the yeast first, again, but with beer, when we brew beer, we just sprinkle this on the top, and apparently that's the best method. So I'm going to sprinkle 4 heapfuls of things on top. And this is no return, right? This is it. So I'm sprinkling this in. And we're just going to vaguely mix this in. This 1, 2, so scary, 3, 4. Okay, this is kind of the serial deal now. I'm going to give it a mix. And we're going to put this probably either in the corner of the kitchen or utility. I'm not sure yet because it's a big beast. And apparently we're going to let this to ferment for, well, as soon as the first fermentation is finished. I'm going to put the lid on with the little airlock. And as soon as the air bubbles stop coming out, that means the first fermentation is finished. There we go, give it a mix, hold on. Do use a wooden spoon or plastic, no metal, don't scratch the container. But we're going to be coming back to this and seeing, it all depends on the humidity and the temperature of how soon your wine will ferment. Generally, I would expect this guy to be done in about 30 days time. I'm looking forward to this because 15 litres roughly will give us, with the waste and of course sediment and stuff, I hope maybe 10 bottles of wine. Look forward to this. So I'm gonna nurture this baby and you guys get to see this in probably, I'll film this in 24 hours. We'll see what happens then and then we'll come back to this as a point of where you want to see what's happening. So I guess then see you until 24 hours. Okay, just a quick one. Oh, breathing like a dragon. It's been 3 days since we put the bananas and everything else to ferment. So it's been 3 days and it's still going like crazy. I literally, every time I could walk into the kitchen, I can hear this guy going. So whilst the still first fermentation is still going, we're going to leave this in there still until it's done. Basically, when it stopped making that noise every time you look at it, that's the time to take it and put this into the second container. So I think technically we'll probably have another couple of days, give or take. So we'll check back then. And we're back. It's been 9 days since this thing was breathing like a dragon. As I understand, the first fermentation is pretty much over because if you remember last time, I was sort of gurgling every minute or so. It does now only occasionally make a little gurgle. So as I'm aware, this is done as first fermentation. So today is the day where we're going to transfer the hopefully all 15 litres into 3 demi-drums. I have washed them, disinfected them, all ready to go. I'm really excited to actually open up a lid and have a look because we've done the banana one with a musk inside. I'm hoping that it didn't go mouldy and hopefully it's all sort of done what it's needed to do. So let's have a look. Okay, I'm a little bit scared, Ooh. It's got us, I think, no, because I'm pressing here. I think it's still, obviously yeast is still doing his work. Look at that beast. I know what that looks like. Saturday night, teenage years. Wow, okay. Well, that looks alright, doesn't it? It's quite thick. Mustard there. Wow. It smells like wine. I don't taste, I don't smell very much of yeast. So fingers crossed, underneath is nice. It's not going to be clear because obviously it's got to sit and ferment for another probably 30 days. I have noticed we've got tiny bit of mold in there, so I think it's a good timing to get this strained. The beauty of using those big tabs, that you've got a tap at the bottom, so you don't have to use a siphon to get the wine out. So let's start. Okay, I've got the cup because my expert husband told me apparently we might have some musk or something else swimming down in the tap. So we're going to open the tap first in the cup just in case we've got some stuff coming out. So let's have a look. It's so scary, it's crazy. No, just wine. Okay. We're clear, so we go with a demi-drum. Excuse the concoction, it's alright, let's do it. There we go. Way! You like somebody taking a pee in the demi-drum. Well, I must say, it's very good colour. So it's clearly, obviously, the yeast separated, obviously, the beauty of the taps as well. It's looking very good colour. I'm very impressed. Obviously we've still got some sediment sort of swimming around, but the beauty of those taps there, the technically sediment should settle just below the tap, so we should not get a lot of anything swimming inside. I'm very happy with the colour, very happy. I don't know if we're going to get 3 of those out of that. It's meant to be 50 litres, so 3 demi-drums should do the job nicely, but let's find out. Tell me when to stop. I think we need to move on. Okay. 1 down, two to go. So after I fill 3 of those up, I've put the little airlocks inside, and gonna leave this guy probably for about 30 days. And luckily, because they're clear, we get to see and monitor how well the wine clears over the time. So I'll keep you updated. Okay, so we've done 1, so I've got another 2 to go. So let me fill those up and I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, and there we are. We've got not quite 15 litres. I haven't actually even filled those to the level, but both of them 5 litre. This one clearly, we're basically about 3.5 litres short of our 15 litre target. Not so epic after all, is it? There's a load of crud left, there's a load of banana musk, and there's a lot of juice mixed in with the musk. So as you can see, we've sort of done the 2 full ones, and the last bit, when we sort of disturbed the banana a bit, the colours changed. So I'm not sure what the difference is going to hold, hence we did not top up those bottles with the leftover. So this is going to be my tester demi-john. I'm going to trial this first. I couldn't help myself but just to dip my little tongue into this musty little water that was at the bottom, and oh my god, it just tastes like amazing fruit banana wine. I didn't actually imagine this to have so much of the banana flavour, but I know it's still got like 30 days of sitting and fermenting to do, so I don't know what we're going to be left with. However, if it does taste anywhere near to this, I don't think I'll ever buy a short-bought wine ever again. So what we're going to do now is just to put those guys somewhere dark and cool, and come back to them, keep an eye on them, and come back to them in a couple of days to see what's happening. Okay, it's been 2.5 weeks. This guy's been sitting there bubbling away nicely. We can see now they're cleared really, really well, and all this sediment is now at the bottom. So all we're going to do now is to siphon them out and bottle them up, and join me for the taste test in a minute. And there we are, we have bottled the wine. We have got, out of the 2 demi-johns, we have lost some, obviously because of the sediment. We've got 5 bottles of wine out of our 2.5 demi-johns. I don't count the last half, because it's literally full of sediment and it was not really good. So we've got 5 bottles of wine, and this is it. This is the final result in the bottle. You can see it's got really nice golden color. It smells like a banana. It's really, really amazing. I couldn't possibly imagine it to taste and smell as banana-y as it does. Do you remember I told you when I tasted this in the kitchen, I said if it ever tastes anywhere as good as what I did at the time, I don't think I'll buy a white wine again. And I tell you what, I don't think I will. It's very sweet, but don't forget I did put a lot of sugar in there. We put about 4 kilos of sugar into the 7.5 kilos, 14 kilos of bananas, isn't it? Yeah, either or. It's a lot of sugar gone in there, and this recipe meant to be a 15% wine. I think it's pretty close, if not a little bit more. It tastes, if any of you tasted limoncello, it tastes like this, with this amount of sugar and that amount of booze, just not lemon but a banana. So in all grand scheme of things, it's a winner for me. So I sincerely hope you enjoyed the video, and please do try this. This is amazing, absolutely amazing. Cheers.